really, I need to sit back a bit.
Yeah, but then my belly will get it. No, I'm all right there.
I was thinking that Star Wars celebration like starts.
Yeah, Jackson's looking a little fatter there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Jackson's looking like a big fat rabbit ready for Easter.
No.
Bonjour, Taters.
How we doing, Hog? We good?
Oh, well, I've got to say, I'm still recovering, mate.
That was a long day.
Thanks to you.
You're welcome.
Twisting my wizened little arm, my grumpy wizened little arm to go to Star Wars celebration. We spent many an hour there, didn't we? And
it was well worth it, though, wasn't it?
I've got to say, yeah, a whole new, if anyone's going to be watching this video, Taters, having seen you, you and Liz know me,
yeah,
deeper than what may come across on the videos, and you spent a whole day with me, kind of going, "Oh, this is people loving it." How can you mock or denigrate or hate something that gives so many people so much pleasure?
That's it.
But like we said, I think we're all agreeing though at the moment, that we all love Star Wars, but not necessarily Disney. But it sounds like it's coming back. But anyway, we got there early, didn't we?
Oh God, yeah. What we got there like 20 past, 8:30.
Yeah, something like that. Parking up, walking in, and you can see the geeks and the nerds all appearing, dotted around the streets on the way to Excel, and that starts building up the excitement, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Just standing in that queue, just looking at everything that you can see, and that's a smidge. That's a tiny little smidge of what we get to see for the day.
Yeah. And you having said that, we really only scratched the surface, didn't we?
Oh, one day definitely not enough. Yeah, one day definitely not enough.
I mean, that was my first experience. Now I've done, I don't know, my first comic convention, which all of this has spun out from, was probably I'm just going to say early 80s. I don't want to put a year on it. It would have been early 80s, 82 or 83, right? And from there, I don't know how many conventions I've done. I've done I've done a big science fiction convention in Brighton one year. Big sci-fi con. I forget what it was called now. It was the massive one, and you had all the writers there, all the novel writers of the day. So I've done a fair few conventions, and nothing, including San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes,
2 years ago.
And the Baltimore you've just been to.
And Baltimore, which was a standard comic convention.
Yeah.
That was just hardcore comics.
That was just comics, not comic and media. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done a mixture of it all, but out of all that, nothing of what I've done before prepared me for the scale.
Yeah.
Of Star Wars celebration. I've got to say, nothing prepared me for the scale and the atmosphere. It's a different vibe. It's completely from any convention.
Throughout the day, the atmosphere is just going. It just didn't slow down. There was just no. From the minute you walk in to the minute you leave, it is just everyone's on it. I mean, even when we left. I know I'm skipping right to the end, but even when we left, all the cosplayers out the front, all getting their photos together, some of them doing their lightsaber battles.
They still couldn't stop.
They just could not stop. It was crazy. It gets you buzzing.
I mean, I think outdoors, I reckon for the first hour, we was just like that. Oh, I reckon.
There was a few times through that day that I was a bit like that.
And my neck was quick the first hour. He was just pointing everywhere. He was going, look.
Yeah, look, there's that.
He's giving me the name of some random character from Clone Wars. Going, look, it's so-and-so. I'm going, what? Look over there. No, look over there. No, that way.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so good. It was so good.
Well, I will say, very well organised.
Yes.
For the scale of the event. And I know I know in a way, people could say, well, all right, it's at Excel, and that's what they do all day long, is organise big events. But in this post-pandemic era, there are a lot of things that go on, and people are still using the excuse of the pandemic and, oh, we haven't got the staff and we haven't got the money, we haven't got the resources, and oh, someone's phoned in sick today.
Yeah.
But I think from the very beginning to the end, organisation wise, and it just made it the whole day smooth.
Well, if you take somewhere like the XL, so normally you've got all those halls, you've got Christ knows how many halls in that place, what, 10, 15 halls, and your expo is normally confined to 1, maybe 2 of those halls.
Yeah.
When the celebration takes up the entire XL, including the walkway, everything is for Star Wars. That level of organisation is above and beyond. It's like, it's just such a good. I can't get over it. I want to go back. They've gone home now. It's not fair.
They've all packed away now.
We'll wait to 2025 now and somehow get to Japan.
Yeah, to Japan. And there was the other aspect of, because obviously we went there yesterday. We've kind of had a day to cogitate on it, but the more I've been thinking about it, there is no corner of the Star Wars universe left uncovered. Like,
no,
it was like there would be a panel or a chat or a cosplayer, from some random corner, of whatever. And like I said to you on the walk out, it all come from. I was getting very philosophical, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking this just come from one guy's imagination.
Yeah, that's it.
And bringing, and I'll hold my hands up and say that I've been a big critic of some of the latest iterations of this world, this universe. But for a kind of, it's a genre in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's science fantasy. It's his own genre.
Yeah.
For something like that to bring so much pleasure, it almost feels like now, if I'm ever going to be critical of Star Wars ever again, it feels like I'm kicking a puppy, because because everyone was so happy and joyous and well, we was talking about what a good title it was.
Yeah.
But everyone, having said that though, everyone's got a different favourite. This is it's a generational thing as well. Like from an old crusty like me, like to you and Liz, or maybe you kind of straddle. Stop here, we don't go.
Go on. I straddle what?
You straddle the generations, kind of like between me and Liz.
I'm halfway there. Yeah.
Yeah, so. But the moment we fell in love with it, the film we fell in love with it. And it was just, it was just the cosplay. One thing for me is, because I am a geeky old hog and also a grumpy old hog, is that I have kind of frowned upon cosplay a bit.
Go on.
A bit. So I go to the comic conventions and it's like, I'm not going to go there as Captain America, but I enjoy, a Scarlet Witch or two, let's say.
Yeah.
But the cosplay element, again, is a whole other. It's just, that's a hobby in itself, whether it's comic collecting, whether you're collecting the toys, whether you just like the films, whatever it is. But that whole section where they was doing the cosplay, and they had sections, didn't they, of the robots?
Yeah.
Where the guys had built the R2D2s and the choppers.
And everything you can imagine.
I thought it was sensational.
It was. Again, you go in there and you're not thinking Disney.
I don't think you can. You've got to put that.
It doesn't even crop up. You don't walk in there thinking this is Disney. This is Star Wars. Yeah. This is Star Wars. And again, just the level of energy coming off. Take the cosplayers, be it the really, really good ones, the ones that obviously spend a lot of money, a lot of time. The professional cosplayers, they do this thing for love more than anything, but some of them earn out of it. And then you got the guy in the spandex onesie thing trying to look like the Mandalorian with a printed one. But you know, it's a level of cosplay. That's fine. Great stuff.
Yeah, or
know,
someone with just a Darth Maul mask on.
That's it. Yeah, there was that. Yeah, there was that guy walking around with the Palpatine mask.
That's it. Yeah.
The mashup cosplay. Some of those were hilarious.
Oh yeah, you know? I've got to admit, I still say my top of the shop are the Disco Mandalorians.
The Disco Mandalorians were very good.
They're just with the light up trainers and the light up, the
LEDs all over their body. Yeah, they were really
cool. They was just like busting a few moves.
Yeah,
that was great. But a great atmosphere. Like I say, it's a totally different experience. You can kind of compare it to a comic convention.
Yeah.
A sci-fi convention. I could start comparing it to the San Diego Comic-Con, but I don't really want to, because even that is completely different. It is a mixture, and I think it's only now and kind of airing it.
Yeah.
My thoughts. You go to somewhere like San Diego, and it will be Marvel films. It will be DC films.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went, it was American Horror Stories latest series, and they've done this 3D area where you could go and put the VR on goggles on, and you could go around and look at. So you've got this disparate collection of people from comics, cinema, TV, genre, horror. This is very, very specific, and the thousands of people. Have you seen? And I tried looking at attendance figures, and
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even want to hazard a guess.
Well, I saw a figure of 30,000
for which day?
Well, I thought, well, could that be one day?
Well, I mean, I saw photos from the Saturday. So the Saturday, in terms of the panels, the information they're giving out and bits and pieces like that, that's generally where you get your updates on the Saturday.
Yeah.
That, from what I saw, was the biggest crowds. Saw some photos and some bits and pieces on Friday. Don't get me wrong, it was busy. From what I saw Saturday, it was definitely the busiest. You know,
I think that's to be expected, because it wasn't a bank holiday. It was blah blah blah.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday being the Sunday, the day we go, obviously that's the, like you say, it's the Sunday, but it's the cosplay day. That's the day where the cosplay competitions are taking place. Yeah. So the cosplayers are through the roof. I mean, they're always there, but there's just so many more on the Sunday. So it's I think we picked the right day, but I wish we'd have done another one. I do.
Yeah, I mean,
I do regret not being able to get hold of the whole weekend ticket, but you know,
it was going to be a recommendation or you know, and a piece of advice that I could offer.
Yeah.
And what I will definitely do next time I have an opportunity to do it,
multiple days, is
I would say at least 2 days, if anything.
Yeah.
I would do a cheeky, and that's what I did at the Baltimore Comic Convention. Yeah. I've done the Friday. It's always going to be a quiet day.
Yeah.
But that was 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The Friday's always going to be really a set-up day, and everyone's there, and they're just getting started. Yeah. It's not really, you know, you just kind of go there and get acclimatized. And Saturday is for you start targeting.
Yeah.
You start targeting what you really want to do. And the Sunday is your overspill, is for what you missed.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you've got to, I mean, if you can only do 1 day, you just do 1 day and just jump in like we did. And
better 1 day than nothing. That's all I would say.
I mean, I turned around to you, didn't I? And I went, it's 4 o'clock. What have we done? And I was thinking, we can go for a little bit of lunch and have a beer, you know, outside, you know, have a nice hour of lunch. But by the time we've done that Dark Horse Comics panel, and you know, then we
get going
comics, and we're queuing up for Jackson's.
Yeah. Signed with Cavan Scott, the writer.
I was tempted to sign it to geekyOlhog.
Yeah.
I just got him, my real name. I've got to hide him now, my real name with my finger now.
Yeah.
To keep anonymity. Someone's going to zoom right in and go, oh my God, his real name's right.
So that's who you was cosplaying, the geekyOlhog.
I think, no, next time I'm going to cosplay Jackson.
Yeah.
I think he's my new hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird, and no one likes him.
I don't think no one. I mean, in that panel,
no one's heard
people were going nuts for Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's. I just thought it was.
I think you could have walked out on stage and had a shit, and that's going to be in my next comic or the next episode of whatever I'm doing. Everyone would have gone, yeah, because everyone was hyper, wouldn't they? You know,
it was, yeah.
They're properly lit up. Yeah. Have you got a highlight of the day, Tayters? I must have, while you're thinking about it, I will mention to anyone who's going to be watching this video that he did go, and I will be putting up pictures.
Yes, do it. Put all of them up.
Of your cosplay as David Filoni.
That was brilliant.
And you did get a lot of attention.
I think I won. I got those two little badges. Those two random ladies come up and start. No, they had to give me their pins.
Let's give a shout out to your mate Harry and my new mate Harry.
Oh, Harry, yeah, Harry.
Harry to the hogverse.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of the ump. He was getting more attention.
I don't know if it was the ump. A bit of jealousy, maybe. But it's just like, his words were, "I've come in full cosplay." So he literally went out. He's bought bits. He's adapted his clothing. He's sewn bits on. He's gone out and bought the right plaster. And he's done this and I've done that. And I borrowed a hat. Yeah. It's just like, so he was a little bit like, well, how is everyone recognising?
He made the effort and you bought a jacket and a hat, and
I borrowed a hat
and all the attention.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
And I did like, I mean, for me, one of the highlights is Harry with his gun,
shooting the stormtroopers,
just going pew pew pew, and there was a Mandalorian walking towards us.
That's right.
Your stormtroopers on the right, he's going, pretending he's shooting them, and then the Mandalorian just going like that, and it was all in silence.
It was brilliant, yeah.
It was all in silence, like it was just a thing. It was
it's just getting into it. It's just getting into it. I mean, I loved it. Like I say, for me, it was simple cosplay. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I love Dave Filoni. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like his writing style.
I don't know. I just think
I think the man's done a lot for Star Wars.
I just think it's not. Listen, we all know Ahsoka and Dave Filoni for you are the Lord and above, and I just think it's people don't think it's Lord above, but there were loads of different people there with all different lords above. Like like the reception that Ewan McGregor got. I mean, we weren't there.
Oh, yeah. And Hayden Christensen, the place blew up.
Dressed as, I don't know if you saw, did you see the video of him on the live stage?
Yeah.
He was dressed as like a Charles Dickens urchin. I thought he was going to come in with a bowl and say, can I
have some more?
Yeah. He's giving it all that. But I've got to say, you know, I want to keep all this positive because I was a positive.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. So you've got to say
him lauding it out there like that, and you think, you mug, like, don't do that.
Mate, Kenobi.
Yeah, boom! Like just throw a Kathleen Kennedy coming out like.
That was one I needed to avoid. I did not want to be near that stage when KK come out, so it was just like, I'm going to stay away from that one. Because I would be the one in the crowd, and then get fucking mobbed.
Yeah, but I don't think. To be fair, I think probably I would say 90% of the people there are agreeing with us, say on KK.
Yeah,
but you're not in the mood to kind of.
No, that's it. You're on a high. You're on a high. You're not interested.
You're kind of just going yay because she's there, and you go yay to anything like. But that's just the mood you're in, and you get sucked into the vortex of it. Then you're walking down that corridor. It's like you don't know where to go next, and then you start seeing the Lego logo, and then you see like the live stage, and then you see
Pops
cosplay.
Yeah,
it's like no. What do I do now? What do I do now?
it is.
Then you see the bar.
Yeah. Where's the bar? Yeah, the steps go up. The steps went up for yesterday. Christ. Oof, got me steps in for the weekend.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, speaking of Dave Filoni and Ahsoka, I'm assuming on the next hogCAST, we will be doing a deep dive into the Ahsoka trailer.
We'll do all of the news.
And all of the news on the, yeah.
Tayters with this.
Yeah. Oh, no, not here. No, not here.
Gush. It's just gush about how good the day was.
I mean, I've watched that Ahsoka trailer probably about 20 times by now. I mean, Jesus Christ, there was about 11 of them was yesterday. But I will. There's a lot of information in that trailer. I think we've got to dig into and really get the feel for it. But no, yeah, we'll do that on the next podcast. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yes, which is only like it's not even a week away yet.
Yeah, no, it's the end of the week. We'll be good. Yeah, we'll go again.
Liz has already tapped me up and said, "Oh, are you going to be talking about all the Star Wars news?" Because, like I say, I wanted to keep this for a change.
Yes,
100% positive.
Yes,
Hog 100%. He's back into Star Wars. He's got a comic.
Yeah,
he's got his old mate. He's hanging up his shopping bag. He's got his Darth Maul.
The bag.
He's dug out his Darth Maul statue. Yes. Which we bought our t-shirts in.
Yeah.
No, I'm just really glad I went. Just for the experience.
I mean, there was no real highlight for me. The whole thing was a highlight. Like I say, I loved every minute of it. I can't really put my finger on anyone. I mean, okay, take Slave Layer out of the situation. The rest of it was just as good as everything else. So it's just like, but yeah, the Slave Layer, she was a good girl. She did that well, I think.
You get distracted for a little while.
It kept me distracted for a minute. Yeah, it did keep me distracted for a minute. But, I had to move on. Standing there for 3 hours staring at her was not right.
I kind of remember me forcing you to move on.
Forcing me to what?
Move on. I think.
Yeah, it was. Well, I kept trying to. I mean, okay, so Harry didn't want to step in.
There's a big convention here. There's a massive convention.
Yeah, but I was concentrating on those two things.
On her massive conventions, yeah.
No, she was a nice lady. She was a nice lady. I'll give her a due.
That was the only, for me, like you, I think I agree that as a highlight, there's kind of no one thing. Obviously, as a big comic nerd,
yeah,
we both done that Dark Horse Comics panel.
Yes,
and I do enjoy, and I was shocked, pleasantly surprised, how many English creators there were.
Yeah,
and writers.
Well, would they have up there? They had 5 on the stage. 3 of them were British. Yeah. You had Nick. Nick, I can't remember his name. He was the artist.
Stourbridge, is it?
You had Cavan Scott was the writer,
and Nick Brokenshire.
There we go. He was the artist. Yeah, and the chap in the middle with the dark hair. I can't remember his name now either, but another writer, younger fella.
And there was but I knew, especially that Cavan Scott.
Yeah.
The age he was, I just knew, and I think I was whispering to you 2008. Yeah. As they said, "What are your comic?"
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But anyway, me as a comic, that was my highlight. But in a way, that wasn't kind of like my extreme. Oh my God, I'm so glad if I never, if I die tomorrow, that will be the best thing in my life, because the whole day was.
It was just
little bits. It was even watching the droid racing.
The little kids,
brilliant droid racing, and the bloke doing the commentary. Oh my God, it's all going wrong on the first corner and all. He was doing some awesome commentary, and they was getting involved. The two Ahsokas that you fell.
Oh, those two little sisters. Yeah. Oh my God, they looked amazing.
When she and you pointed out
hit that pose.
She broke into the pose with her two little
chills.
What? She's only 5 or 6, bless her.
And just to clarify for everybody, I did speak to their parents first before I took photos. I did ask their parents first, which they were more than happy with.
This is a completely non-normal hog. This is a non-hogcast, like being rude and lewd.
But they were fantastic. I mean, obviously, you know, I know the parents have got involved and got them into it, but the fact that the little girl hit that pose and she knew how to hit that pose straight in, it was awesome. Yeah. They out of all the cosplayers, those are the two that I was probably the most happy with, in terms of just because they're so young and they're so involved already. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. You know,
the best one for me was the mum and dad who had the baby.
Oh, the little Leia.
With the Leia.
Baby Leia. Oh, yeah.
Woolly hat, the brown woolly hat. And they'd obviously bought a biggish Funko Pop, hadn't they?
Yeah.
The box was about that big, and he dropped it on the floor. We're having a munch to eat, weren't we? And it looked like he dropped the box on the floor, and it looked like this kid had come out of the box. It was like, mate, that's a really lifelike.
Oh yes.
Oh, awesome.
Get him in young, because there was another couple.
She was on Insta as well. They'd been to Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah, they went to meet and greet with Andy. Yeah,
and she was on there, the little kid, the little baby, and like even he had posted on his Insta, Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
That's the only bit I would say. Like highlights are plenty.
Yeah.
Downside is
we had to go home.
But the lack of interaction with the people that I think the book and the comic people were fine.
Yeah.
They were signing. We was talking to one of the guys from the Dark Horse panel.
Yeah. In
the Forbidden Planet queue, you know, buying our comic, our exclusive cover comics. But other than that, it might have been us, mightn't it? It might have been our travails around the convention. But there was kind of there wasn't a great deal. You either had to prepay, pre-book. I do get it with the Ewan McGregor stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think, you know, you lower down the scales.
I mean, in terms of that, I think that was probably the gripe for most people is they you know, the business heads have been put on, and the prices of these meet and greets and these photo ops and things like that, they're starting, the autographs even, they're starting to skyrocket. They're starting to go a little bit too high. I can't see Disney keep doing that. If they keep doing that, no one's gonna sign up. I mean, I had friends in the hall on Saturday, and again, they went to meet one specific person who's a voice actor for Star Wars, but the other voice actors had no one. There was no queues. There was no one waiting. They were literally just priced out the market.
And that's a shame you can't just go up.
Shame.
That's a shame you can't just go up.
Yeah.
And I think we all understand that time is money. And,
absolutely.
You know, all the Comic Cons I go to now, I rarely get, unless I've got the convention book, like I've got a couple here.
Yeah.
And I just say, oh, can you just give me a squiggle? Because that's just me. If they say no, I say, all right, up yours.
Yeah. Thanks.
If they say yes, they sign it. And on my way, I've wasted 30 seconds of their time.
Yeah.
I haven't wasted 30 seconds of their time, really, because them signing my convention book means that that's just for me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No one wants a convention book with 18 autographs in it on eBay. Like, what am I going to get for that?
That's the thing. That's where the business comes into it now, isn't it? People are paying for autographs to sell.
But the other thing I would say is, and I know this is kind of off-piste a little bit, Tayters, but
go on.
If you personalise signature, if it is to Tayters, if it is to geekyOlhog, if it is to
whoever,
surely you know that your eBay resale for the comic or the, do you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, you've got an action figure and you get someone to, whatever it is. We had the comics. I mean, you had a Mandalorian comic. If you'd have seen anything connected with that issue 1 of that Mandalorian comic, that would have been purely for you. You have got.
That's for me,
I think that is a completely different thing than someone just queuing up and going, oh no name,
Yeah.
Just sign the book. Just sign the book cover for me. Yeah, and you know, make sure the ink is dry and you carry it away like that, and then you put it in your polythene bag. And don't get me wrong, I've done that before, but I'm a nerd. But nevertheless, I'm not one of the new generation of that.
No.
Who just take it away and then it's auctioned that night.
Yeah.
So I know, but there are ways around that, and I think it's personalising it. But also, I don't know why there weren't. And it wasn't a big thing for me.
No.
I probably would have gone round and gathered up and scooped up a few signatures and pictures and photos and souvenirs.
Yeah.
If they were just there and there's no one in the queue, you would have elbowed me and gone, "Oh, that's so and so who voiced so and so or whatever," and it's 20 quid.
Yeah.
And you get an art print or you get a photo. Whatever, I'm saying art print because I'm coming from the comic side. It wouldn't be an art print, would it? But if it was it would be a photo, wouldn't it? And it'd be, say someone was sitting there. No, there's no one in the queue, and they played an Ewok. No, do you know what I mean? I'm just giving that as a little example. I'm just going to go over there. I'm at Star Wars Celebration.
Yep.
And I'm gassed, man. I'm gassed. I'm just going to give them 20 quid for a photo and their signature, like two. Really said my real name again. To Roy. You know, all the best. Wicked. Whatever. So that, but that's just a small. That's just a small commentary, I think, and I think you agree as well.
No, absolutely.
Other than that,
it would be nice just to have that ability to be able to walk up.
Having said that, there are so many people there, like for the big boys and girls.
Well, like, I mean, you do a breakdown of it. You know, Ewan McGregor, from what we see on that day, you know, he could have easily had 1,000 people go through his stand. You know, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. 250 quid a pop.
Still nothing to him though. But it's a good weekend. Easter weekend's money.
It's a good weekend. I need a couple of those.
If he's got nothing, if he had something else better on, he wouldn't have been doing it.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, there was a few names that I was surprised that weren't there.
Like
Hamill for one. I really thought Hamill would have put an appearance in, but
really? Do you think he still handles that one?
I'm not sure how the relationship is with most Star Wars people now.
Yeah.
In terms of the higher ups.
Yeah.
You know, with all the rumblings that happened through Last Jedi, and it's like I'm not sure how it is, but you know, being a business, you
can't take that out on the fans in a way, can you?
That's what I'm saying. But being a business, you look past that. Yeah. This is your main guy. You know, that's a no-brainer. I mean, Billy D. Williams was there. That was great. You know, I didn't get to see him, but I know he was there. Fantastic. The man, you know, the man come out. They brought him out. I'm trying to think what other big names that weren't on the roster.
Who's alive?
Obviously, Harrison Ford weren't there. He wasn't there for the weekend.
He's never going to do it.
I don't think he's done many. I know he's turned up for some panels here and there, other celebrations, but
he's been a grumpy bastard from day one. He has, and he literally has, hasn't he? You must know that as well. He's been.
I think Harrison Ford's funny.
He acted the role when he moved on. That was it.
Yeah.
Got invited back. The money was right. He come back.
Yeah.
But nothing right. You know, they can't. You can't all be up for it, and you can't all want to be. I think someone like Andy Serkis in the new generation.
Yeah.
They're in it. They're kind of immersed in it because they've grown up. They've come along with it. But someone like Harrison Ford, I mean,
from what I understand, again, most of the TV show people were there. So be it some of the animated stuff from recent years. You got the Kenobi cast there. You had the Andor cast there. Pretty much all of them. Mandalorian cast for the most part. You know, I don't think Pedro Pascal was there at all over the weekend. I know we had Katie Sackhoff. I forget the fella's name, which I'm sorry for, but the guy that plays Axe Wolves, we saw him. He was there. Yeah. Dedra, Little Miss Sneery, your friend. She was there.
Yes, she was there.
She was there. There was.
I would have, if they just sat there, I'm pretty sure if they sat there for the weekend,
Yeah.
which is what these people used to do. And I'm
Yeah.
kind of going back to the sign. Like
It's not that far back. It's not that far back.
When I had the when I had the shops and I would do a sci-fi show, you would have stars from Doctor Who or Star Trek, and they would make sure that it was a proper gig. It'd only be one day.
Yeah.
And it was more to sell your comics and your action.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, get people in the shop.
Genre. Yeah, and it'd be in the shopping centre. It'd be in the middle of Milton Keynes. I remember doing the Milton Keynes one. But you'd have a top of the shop. You'd have one of the proper Doctor Who's.
Yeah.
And then you'd have the also rans. But what they did is they sat there all day.
Yeah.
So your main Doctor Who would have, your Sylvester McCoy would have the queue round the block all day long. There was no prepay. There was no anything. But you paid for the autograph, paid for the picture that he signed, etc., etc. Or you bought a book. You had to buy the book for someone to sign, whatever it was. I don't mind that. But then you would have all the added people, and you could gather up. In one day, you could probably gather up like a dozen signatures, all the also rans from Star Wars, from Battlestar Galactica, from Star Trek, you have someone from Star Trek Voyager there, and you think,
yes. Well, I was just about to say, I remember going to your shop to get a signature from Robert Beltran.
Oh yeah,
and I don't remember paying anything. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember ever paying for that. I'm sure you did those for free back in the day.
The way it was set up,
was
that you would speak to they would have the agent that brought him over. Yeah. I would pay a fee to him to get Robert Beltran in.
That's it.
And Robert Beltran would charge a fee for his picture.
Yeah.
The autograph on it. He's in my shop. So now it's down to me. It was a promotional thing for my shop.
Yeah.
But I was fully up for that.
Yeah.
I was 100% up for that, because I would make sure that I had as much Star Trek merchandise and leaflets from my shop and the mail order and other shops, because they come from all over the country. But I didn't mind that, and it wasn't the end of the world money.
I remember hanging around. Jesus Christ, I must have stayed in your shop at least 2.5 hours after I'd had my signature done. Christ knows how much money I spent that day, but I wouldn't. I'd like to have it back now.
No refunds available.
No refunds.
No. Well, I'd like a refund. It sent me skin, didn't it? So.
Yeah. Slightly off track.
Yeah,
but
Trek. We're talking about Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, we've got to talk about Celebration. Yeah.
But, it didn't dent my day really.
No.
It was
no, I know what you mean. There's little niggles. There's always going to be little niggles.
Constructive criticism would be, guys, hang around a bit.
Yeah.
And I think that there must be a ton of also rans in the Star Wars universe that they could have invited in to hang around for the day just for them to earn money. Just get them in.
Well, I mean,
I would have hoovered up souvenirs from these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really would, but because you had to prepay or pre-book, or pre-this or pre-that. But at the end of the day,
the thing is, years ago, going back to celebrations of the past, not ones that I've ever been to, but ones that I know people, say from the States, the Anaheim, the big ones. I say the big ones, they're all big, but those ones over there. In years past, these people would mooch about the crowd. These people would be walking around the floor. Nowadays, they need an entourage. They need security. Because people are unpredictable. Especially with social media now, everyone wants to get cameras in your faces. There's this, there's that. It's too much. So I understand why they don't mooch about the crowd as much as they used to.
It is.
I did hear on the grapevine that on the Saturday, Jon Favreau was seen in the crowd. And someone else I know was there on the Saturday said that Dave Filoni was mooching about. So that would have been a good one. Although I got a couple of people double take for me. I don't know if you were there at the time.
I was.
It's like, I really thought you was him. No. Budget Dave. Budget Dave.
Budget Dave. And I like the gang of Daves.
Oh,
saw towards the end of the day. Including, I think it was one or two girls as well, like lady women. Still dressed up as Dave Filoni, like, so the guy. Oh, what great. George Lucas's we saw.
Oh yeah, there was a few George Lucas's. Yeah. Again, there was one or two. Wasn't sure if they were George Lucas or Colonel Sanders, but you know, I got the intent.
If you'd have said to me that you're going to see people dressed up as George Lucas, I would have said, "Shut
up!
What up?"
I saw at least five. I saw at least five. I think the only unique cosplay I saw on that day, we like take all the mashups away. I think the only unique cosplay I saw was the Rancor Keeper from Jedi.
Oh yes,
the chunky fella
with his awesome, yes,
leather pants on.
The overweight chap, yes, who made the best of his bulk. Let's just say that.
Yeah, he looks like he's been prepping that for a while.
Yeah, he's been prepping it since the film come out. I reckon he's been working on that.
Walking around with his little baby Rancor. That was great. Oh, I think that's like as a unique cosplay. I think that was the only one I saw that I didn't see any of those. Lots of great mashups, like I say.
I think
the unique perspective, but
there were too many.
It was like, I mean, Mandalorians.
I wish I'd have written them down, like some of the weird and wonderful and funny characters and the different. And the tiny detailed ones that you think, oh, you knew was the one. It was kind of, that's so and so.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like, but I really do wish I'd have bit, it comes at you like that.
Oh, it's the other one. Because I only saw one of her. I saw, like I say, some of the Clone Wars characters, but there was Aura Singh. Aura Singh from Clone Wars, and she actually makes an appearance in episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Very briefly, but she's in there. There was only one of her as well, and that girl done well. I'm sure I've got a photo
of her, didn't you?
Yeah, I did get a photo of it. Yeah. With a straw in her head. Yeah, no, she was good. She was well done.
Yeah.
Loads of Ahsokas, which was great. I say the two little girls are fantastic. But that one Ahsoka in the red, very well done. Like I say, some of those cosplays were just outstanding. That Mandalorian at the end, the guy that we saw right last before we left.
There was something about, I don't know what it was about.
That looked proper screen
on.
accurate.
It looked like it was, he could have been kitted out by the people that were going to be filming. Like a professional, didn't it? It looked like, I think because it was shiny.
It was everything,
And he had the little cape cut off.
And it wasn't rubber.
No.
It wasn't rubber. It wasn't foam. That was actual metal. He was really good. Really good.
Yeah, it was good. Like,
I loved it.
No, I
can't wait till Japan now. I've got to start, 2025. Oh.
We've got 2 years to learn Japanese.
Save up, learn Japanese and save loads of money, or start swimming now.
I've always wanted to go to Japan. I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
Fair. Since you mentioned it to me today, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, well, I'd love to go to Japan anyway.
Yeah. Coincidence.
What do you reckon? Shot to your drop.
Yeah. No, it's I know it's 2 years off. It's April 18th in Japan.
So don't coincide with any birthdays for me. So
no. Consideration. I've been checking out flights already.
Have you? How much is it for Japan?
About £830 so far is what I've found.
We're in. Liz. Liz.
Yeah.
We're there.
It's a consideration, that's for sure.
I wonder what is yeah, we've got to learn some Japanese, haven't we? Konnichiwa and all that.
If you say so.
I do say so.
There's an app. I'll get the app.
Yeah, there's got to be an app. We had the celebration app yesterday, didn't we?
There's got to be an app
for translation. I will say I'm glad you twisted my arm.
Oh yeah, it was. I'm glad you came. It was a great day.
For me, you can kind of get lost down one little rabbit hole. But I know
Yeah.
we all do. We all do, whether it's my cynical little rabbit hole, being overcritical of things, but it is been shit.
Yeah.
Or you can just get disappeared down another rabbit hole where everything's great. You know, Kathleen Kennedy comes out and says the Acolyte's going to be brilliant, and then they bring out that Leslie Adland and all that. But anyway, that's we don't go there on this video because it's pressure.
Positive,
and we loved it, and I did. I thoroughly. I mean, I think because it was unexpected. It was an unexpected. You know, to quote the vernacular of the modern generation, it was the vibe that was unexpected. It was like the positivity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like even chatting to people in the queue, getting different perspectives, you know, just that little bit, it makes you think. Maybe I am overly harsh. Maybe we're stuck in this little bubble of judgment, and we just keep banging away at the same drum. And it's just like looking at it from a wider perspective. You know, there is a chance that it's going to be good. Might not be a big one, but there's a chance that it's going to be good. There was enough announcements this weekend, enough information given for the future to look positive, I think. For Star Wars.
I hope so. I just still say a little prayer every night for KK to go.
Well, even the chap that we spoke to in the queue, who was telling us about this Wednesday's, they got a preview of this Wednesday's episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And his point of view on what this episode is. Didn't give us any spoilers. I know nothing. All he said was basically all those little threads are going to start being tied up this episode. You're going to come away happy. So let's hope he was right. Let's hope he was right, because
people with half a brain that I spoke to.
Yeah.
And it's not that I was asking them for critical response, but you're just generally chatting to people about things. And you mention a Kenobi, or you mention a Book of Boba Fett, and everyone's kind of nodding and laughing or raising their eyebrows in agreement. But nevertheless, like I said before we went, I'm still a fan of Star Wars.
Star Wars fan. Yeah, Star Wars fan.
Not Dismal Minus.
No.
And as soon as KK's gone, there can only be light. There can only be light once she's gone.
I hope so. Yeah.
And
I mean, I think I don't think we got to wait even for her to be gone. I think the light is on its way. I really, you know, there's her involvement in a lot of things has been pulled back on. She's not as involved with certain things and certain projects as she has been in the past with recent projects. So, you know, again, we got to wait till August for Ahsoka. I do think that's going to be a turning point. You know, the announcement of Dave Filoni's movie that he's going to be directing, which is going to be the tie-up of the Mandoverse, which is going to bring everything to a head and close off all those threads. It's, you know, that's a positive, I think. I know you're making faces.
No, only because I'm skeptical of the state of the business.
And you should be, yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't want to see that.
No.
I'm not saying I don't want to see the Dave Filoni film. I'm just skeptical about the reality.
Well, you'd be mad not to be skeptical.
Of making a film happen after all this, because it's all going down the pan. This is.
I mean,
I don't want to say it, but
no. But what did they go? They went from having like 12 movies on the roster to now they've got 3. I think that says a lot.
So,
the saturation has happened.
Yes,
we're now wringing it out. We're now wringing it out and coming back to reality.
But the reality is, how do you save $5.5 billion whilst
back to George,
whilst planning to make a new Star Wars movie?
That's a few years off. We got 3 years yet.
A long way away. But I think they needed to make announcements, and I think KK is clinging. He's clinging. His announcements, she's clinging on for dear life.
Yeah.
And giving us a little bit of what we wanted to hear. After
again, in terms of announcement and rumours around KK, I mean, from what's being said at the moment, she's trying to fuck off over to Marvel and go and ruin that.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well, at the moment, I mean,
I say ruin that, yeah, like it could get much worse, but you know.
I'm gonna say, what's she gonna do? Oh, is she gonna turn it into the MCU?
Yeah, there we go.
Anyway,
Too late.
Anyway, no, that was a good day.
It was a fantastic day. It was a fantastic day, and again, I appreciate the fact that you came. I appreciate the fact that you came and you saw.
I'm glad I did.
Mm.
I'm glad I did, and it
brilliant.
Kind of opens your eyes a little bit. Or it opened my eyes. No, yeah, it did open my eyes. It was a shock. Yeah. It was a shock to physically experience the volume of people
that love it
and the volume of love, and to kind of take you back to the moment of what aspect of this thing we all fell in love with, because it is going to be different for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
People out there, but but fandom never agrees. There are going to be people.
Oh yeah, of course. Everyone has an opinion.
That grew up with the sequel trilogy, right? And you're going, Even going, And when the prequel trilogy come out, I was kind of going a bit like, this isn't for me, sir. This is poodle. But there was a generation, including my son, that grew up with that. When they announced
their Star Wars,
when they announced that Kenobi, or they showed the Kenobi trailer, him and Liz, they were going off their nuts saying, "Oh yes,
can't wait, can't wait, can't wait."
And then they went, "Yeah." But my point being, let's not go over all that old ground.
No.
These generations, it's fantastic how from my age onwards, the generations of it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
fall in love with the whole thing. And once you fall in love with that point in time in the timeline of the universe, it makes you go back. Like you've got to see, like you fell in love with one of the sequel trilogy. Oh, what? There's 6 more films.
Yeah.
So
go back, go watch it all.
It's all good.
I mean, it ain't. Star Wars ain't going nowhere. Star Wars is forever. I know that's a common phrase, but Star Wars is forever. I mean, there was that little kiddie section. Remember where they were doing the lightsaber training?
That was
guys on the stage.
I wanted,
and there's little dots of kids. They can't be any older than 3 years old, and they're in it, and they're enjoying it, and they're dressed up in Jedi outfits, and they're swinging their lights. It's just something
sparked their imagination.
Awesome, yeah, absolutely awesome.
Worse things. There are worse.
Star Wars is forever. This ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place to end our little celebration video, Taters. I think.
Just get all those photos up, show people everything.
I'm gonna pepper this video with those.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Those and thanks again, mate.
No worries.
And
appreciate you coming, mate. And shout out to Harry as well. It was good to see you. And
yes, Harry,
his lovely partner Kim.
Yes,
fantastic.
And well, I don't think Kim will appreciate if I put up any photos of her, but I'll
no, she wasn't in cosplay.
I'll definitely. Harry, big shout out to you, Governor.
Yeah.
Awesome. And until hogCAST, I'm not going to be this happy and pleasant, Taters.
No, I know it don't last that long, mate.
No, I've had my moment.
So, I've known you long enough now. You've been happy maybe 4 times.
Was it weird? Actually, before we go, was it weird to see me that pleasant for so long?
I didn't really notice. I'll be honest with you. I was too away with the fairies. I was off looking at everything else. It was like
different side of the hog. I was looking everywhere, going, "Oh my god, there's Lego! Oh my god, there's oh my god!" Everything was wonderful. I was romping. No, it's back down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. What brought me back down to earth was walking up and down those stairs on the way home. Jesus Christ! I've been on my feet all day long. I've had enough. I want to go home and go to sleep.
In your new Filoni boots. All right, then, Taters. Thanks, mate.
Brilliant. No, thanks, buddy.
No,
I will speak to you Friday with the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get some more questions. Instagram people, geekyOlhog, ask questions.
Oh yeah.
So enthusiastic. Where's that enthusiasm's gone already? We ain't even finished.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to cut that bit.
Edit.
The real hog reveals himself.
Questions, people. Questions.
Who likes Jackson? That's going to be my first.
There we go, Jackson. Yeah, good old Jackson.
New series for Dismal Minus. I'll be going. Yeah, Jackson.
Yeah.
You seen it? Mr. Bunny. Fuck off. Tayters. Adios.
See you later, buddy.
Bye, mate.